That's all you got to do?
Yeah, you switch scenes and then dial up the audio. See at the very bottom?
That's all you got to do?
Yeah, you switch scenes and then
Hey, we're already on it. I can.
Are we?
That's all you got to do?
No, you can hear us through there.
Hey, we're already
Dial
on
up
it.
audio.
I can.
Are we? No, you can hear us through there. We're already on it.
That's what that is.
No,
That's
no,
hella
here,
funny.
here. Wait, is it already up?
I feel like it's recording from.
Oh, it's because of the scene. Each scene is different. We're recording. We're live.
Are you sure this ain't gonna echo on the other side? Cause you hear that? As we're talking, sure this ain't gonna echo on the other side. Cause you hear that? Yes. As we're talking, this ain't gonna echo on the other side. Cause you hear that? Yes. As we're talking, this ain't gonna. That's hella funny. Yes.
There we go. Okay, now test it.
Yo.
Do you hear that go anymore? You hear that go?
All right, sounds much better. No echo no more.
There we go. Okay.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's funny. Welcome. Welcome to shit. We can't release the title of the podcast yet because it revolves around a project that brought us together. So introductions first. Scott, after you. I'll let you go. I'll let you take it.
All right. My name is Scott Barrero. I'm a photographer from San Francisco. I grew up in the Bay Area. Done work for a handful of clients all around the world, I guess. And just kind of living life, trying to get through it like everybody else these days.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what you been doing during quarantine?
Kind of just finding myself, I guess you could say, more than anything.
Yep.
Just kind of, working on myself, kind of just surviving through quarantine because, I mean, I'm sure a few people know about this, but I got stuck. I was in the process of moving to Australia right before COVID hit, and I was actually in the process. I was going to apply for my visa, and me and my cousin were there, and we were like, well, we got to go to another country to apply for a visa. I think that was one of the rules for applying, and so we decided that Bali was, the closest country to go to.
Yeah.
Just in and out, hopefully.
Cheap
Yeah,
too.
cheap.
Dollar goes a long way.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah.
So we went over there, and a few days into being there, the country actually locked down, and we were stuck. We ended up being stuck. I was there for, I think, 3 months, maybe a little bit longer than 3 months, and my cousin was there for a bit shorter of time. He got out during a small window, but was stuck there. Eventually made my way back to the States, and kind of have just been moving around a little bit, trying to figure things out. It's nice that everything's starting to open up back up finally. Everyone's getting their shots, and it seems like things are starting to slowly return to normal.
Yeah.
And I think that's enough about me. I'm tired of talking about me.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take it over. So, my name is Marcelo Oliveira. I've been around computers probably since I was like 6 years old. So I think you know this about me, right? But my father, I was very fortunate to grow up in a retail computer storefront, family owned and operated for, I think from 95 to 2017 it closed.
Just keep talking about yourself. I'm actually going to pull up the chat room.
Yeah.
So in case, because I see you had at least one person saying something.
Oh, dope.
Might as well.
Yo, what's up? Hey, the laptop's hella far away, so.
We just started this.
This is MacGyver as fuck right here.
We just kind of figured it out.
We just piece shit together.
Basically, we were sitting around, we're talking about doing it, and we're like, well, we might as well just start it, starting the podcast.
Shout out to Gary Vee for that one,
Podcast, video, whatever.
We're going to be documenting this entire project that we can't really announce yet, but we are very, very excited about.
Exactly.
But yeah, let me continue on. So, I grew up in a computer storefront, and I started out as a gamer. This was before the Twitch era, so I already know I'd probably be one of the top streamers if this was released back in the day, because I was nasty. Yeah, back in the. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's a character. I can't do that. I'm not a character like that. No. Yeah. Hey, I tip my hat off to him. He changed the game. I mean, he set a new benchmark and standard, kind of like what we're gonna do with this project that we're getting very excited to share. But enough about that. I grew up around computers. What else can I say? I've been running and operating my own business. We primarily have been providing managed IT services, web design, and digital marketing.
Ever since I've known you, you've been involved in computers.
Yeah, whether it's from hardware to software. I went through my network engineer phase where I went to go work for another company, left the family business, did all that stuff. And boss was a genius, but he inspired me to be a better boss, less of a dick. You know, he comes from that older generation, I think, of having that persona of what a boss should be like. So
much better with people.
But it was all good experience. Then I moved down to San Luis Obispo for college. Didn't really go to college, of course, but had a great time. Became a dog trainer while I was out there. Got my baby girl Optimo while I was out there, who's no longer with us. Rest in peace. Had to say goodbye on the 4th of this year. And she's actually the reason, believe it or not, just the underlying reason for this project. You know, that this white paper that I wrote out, and Scott was the first to really look at it. It formed from an act of kindness in the Discord for the V Friends, for Gary V's project, right?
Explain a little bit about V Friends, because personally I have very little experience with V Friends, and maybe people who are watching here have no idea. Maybe we're even diving into the crypto stuff a bit early, but just...
Hey, but we should rant. That's how these streams should be, you know? Fuck it. It's kind of how it's...
flow as we go.
Exactly, right? We'll take note and comment.
Tiny synopsis, like,
yeah.
Just not go down the rabbit hole.
Leave us some feedback, but I doubt we'll be as bad as Gary interrupting each other. I mean, I respect him so much, but everyone always makes comments and and he responds to him too. But that's just a part of his character. You know, he's so excited, he's so passionate, and you know, he's part of the reason why this podcast is up and running. I mean, I've been following his content since I first saw him 2012 when I moved home from college, but just like most other people who come across his content, I was like, this fool's out of his goddamn mind. Like, his energy was just, and at the time I was still driven by materialistic items and the opinions of it. So my head wasn't in the space it is today, right? So, but fast forward 2 years, I come across some more of his content, and it starts to resonate. And I start to build my business around all of his free content. Yeah. I was very successful in doing that.
Explain a little bit about that.
Well, his 4Ds was game changing. Mm-hmm. The 4Ds vlog that he would release on YouTube, he would give you, and I'm sure it was permitting on who was talking, whether or not they wanted it to be released on YouTube, but the content he did release on YouTube from other businesses asking particular questions, I was able to pick things apart. Yeah, there's different industries. They're selling a different product. Some of them are direct to consumer. Some of them are in the B2B space, like I was. But
I don't know. So a lot of that is over my head. I know one thing. I know photography.
Yeah, hey, and that's why right.
I know art in general. I know I went to school for marketing and biochem, but a lot of that business side of stuff, you definitely are.
You know, and for me it was trial and error. I didn't go to business school. I never finished school, for the record. Mm-hmm. Could have done computer science, I'm sure, with my knowledge and background, but I don't know, just me and the education system never mixed well. Yeah. That's why I became a dog trainer. You know, it was a vocational school. It was another option, and it's what I wanted at the time. And I'll definitely get back to that down the road. You know, actually here very, very shortly. Can't say too much about that, but yeah. But yeah. I mean, that's my background in the gist, and losing my dog really shifted something in me. I took a lot of time off, turned down a lot of work, and I just came to a realization that I was unhappy. Yeah. You know, like, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for the skill sets, and it's not like I'm trying to make it seem like I'm complaining about them. Not at all. But it's my choice to stop that line of work. I made enough money to kind of sit on my ass for a while and work on these other little projects that fuel me. Like this project, it's natural energy. It's insane.
I've gone through it. I've gone through those phases in photography where I'm so passionate about it. You know, there's times where I'm like, this is the greatest thing on earth, and I think it is. It's a wonderful profession. I'm thankful for everything I've gotten and I've done with photography. But there are definitely those times where, I'm in a lull creative wise, or just things aren't clicking, maybe on the business side or whatever, and I'm just, really doubting myself. And so I think it's really a good time sometimes to step back and sort of reevaluate where you're at in life and whether maybe that's not something you need to focus on at that time. Mm-hmm. You don't have to put all your eggs into the basket of like progressing forward in your profession. You say take a step back and focus on yourself a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So it sounds like we had similar years though. I mean, part of my COVID year, actually, I was I was operating a business. I was doing very, very well. I was doubling my projections for a 10-year plan, and found out Optimo had cancer. I think this was around Thanksgiving. And it just, as soon as I realized how serious it was, I think I was good for a couple of days. I was still doing my thing, still in my flow, because I believed it wasn't that serious. She was a healthy dog, yeah. And yeah, mind you, she was 12, so she exceeded the expected age. But at the end of the day, it happened so quick, and it kind of made me step back and think back like, man, I spent all these hours away from her. If I knew this was her last year, we'd be gone. I wouldn't have been working at all. Like if I knew that day was that day.
I mean, you really shouldn't put that on yourself.
No, I don't, but I've thought about it, and it's like that factored into my decision. I was sacrificing things that I should have been doing because I wanted to do them. I felt that good energy from them. Yeah. To sacrifice to build a foundation, to build this $100 million business like everybody wants to build. Yeah. But it's not worth it for me. I want to get back to that nomadic lifestyle.
So then what brought you back around? What was that thing that like really reignited you and got you back in?
Creative side. So I've always had a creative mind, you know, whether it's photography or kind of putting things together, how to explain things to a graphic designer. I'm very good in that sense. But as far as using the tools, I've never had the patience.
Oh, apparently your microphone might not be
Do.
working.
Can you hear me?
Is his not working? We might have to just put this between us for now, I guess. Hey, thank you for that, by the way. This is our first stream, by the way. Anyone who's jumping in, this is our first stream. This is our first video.
Appreciate it.
Whatever we're doing. So thank you for bringing it out. We're definitely going to have to figure things out as well.
Yeah. What's weird is I hear it here.
Audio Genius. We thought we had it working.
Yo, can you hear it now?
Yeah, can you
I didn't want to be hella obnoxious because I see red on that screen.
Super low. Maybe I need to turn one of these up then.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is. Just turn them both up.
Let us know if this is too loud. Which one's yours?
What's up? I see a new comment, but I can't read it from here.
Is that louder? Go ahead.
Oh shit! You want to open back up?
Go ahead. Test.
Yo, I can hear my voice.
Oh wait, mine is low, frick. Oh. Let's try turning them both up. Okay. Now is that better? Can you guys hear me a little better there?
Yeah, I see this one moving too. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
Guys. We're gonna need all the help we can.
Yeah.
This was such a it took us half a day to set up the stream and everything, get all the audio, set up the lights. It's gonna be a learning process. That's
yeah,
for sure.
Most definitely. You need to get some longer cables. We'll be tripping over here. Landmines everywhere. All right, where were we?
I think we were just talking about like how you kind of got back on the path, you know, with your creativity.
Oh yeah, so on the back end of this decade, I'd say 2017, I started offering, you know, some web design on top of WordPress and Divi Builder more specifically. Paid for the lifetime access, and that WordPress builder, I mean, you can recreate any site. Mind you have to have all these layers, and it loads a little slower than if you were to have somebody develop it from scratch, but it's easy to build, and it created a new source of income for me. Yeah. So did that for, you know, a few years and started doing some digital marketing, creative output, more specifically, whether it was from helping a client, you know, find the right employee, depending on certain variables, and those became more and more tricky to navigate those waters because those ad platforms started putting a lot of restrictions on what you can and cannot, filter as far as who you can target with certain things. So that was a learning curve. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed inserting myself in a business and figuring out what their needs were and creating marketing campaigns around it, the creative output and the execution on top of all that. So it was a lot of work though. And I found that, you know, between all that work, I loved the creative output. I loved the strategy behind a brand. And that's what I decided to do moving forward. Kind of created this little sister company, Bitmonkeys Studio.
Oh, yeah. So, by the way, the reason why we're streaming from Bitmonkey Studio, I've joined here with Marcelo, his team at Bitmonkey Studio. We're going to be working on a project over the next, couple months, teaming up to hopefully bring something really cool to the world.
Yeah, something really special. Yeah. Really special. It's going to launch pretty soon, and it's going to be something that's going to go on for the next, optimistically, 6 months, but it'll probably take 10 months, from start to finish.
But that's sort of why we joined forces here, and we wanted to sort of start the conversation into what we're doing, and we can get more into that later.
And to introduce ourselves.
Like I've been off the face of the planet for the last year and a half. Just
taking some much needed time off,
You know, I have people like as soon as they hear from me, like, "Oh, you're alive!" Like, nice.
I'm sure all of these people watching right now are for you, not for me.
I mean, anyone who's out there, appreciate it. But,
yeah, I know, right? Regardless, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about life is you kind of sometimes you think you've got it all figured out and it throws you a curveball, especially with the pandemic and everything. You just got to figure it out. Like, life is not easy.
Yeah.
You'll learn that growing up. As a kid, you think there's this direct path to everything, and it's not so straightforward.
Oh, fuck no. They don't grade on a curve when you get out of school. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. they said they came from Marcelo.
Oh, no shit?
Let's go.
Hey, let's fucking go.
What's up? Welcome to the chat. We're just starting off here. First stream, first video.
I know this light looks good. Oh, by the way, so this is also going to be a show that is going to evolve, and you're gonna see certain topics that are gonna, I don't want to say overpower others, but it's going to be a crypto focused podcast. But we're also going to talk lifestyle. We're going to talk photography. We're going to talk tech. Yeah. There's a lot of unique things that are going to be announced very soon. So.
And for anyone who's scared about the crypto topic or isn't very well versed on it, I'm also I got into crypto in 2017, I think. Shout out Silva. And I'm still, even though I was in it for a little bit, I'm still such a noob when it comes to knowing anything or everything about crypto. And so Marcelo here has brought me on board sort of more as creative and marketing to help with Bitmonkey Studio. But he's been involved in crypto for longer than anyone I know ever. I don't know, when did you get into Bitcoin and crypto and all that?
I mean, I first heard about it right around the same time I heard of Gary, actually, 2012. I remember that was the year I moved home from college, quote unquote, air quotes. First heard about it. I feel like I felt how everybody feels today, who's kind of overwhelmed or just, I don't want to say oblivious, that's the wrong word, but unsure of its technology, so they think it's a Ponzi scheme. Yeah. Thought the same fucking thing at first. But my background, building computers, understanding how networks work, first on a...
And you were mining them really early on, too.
Yeah, with the GPU, those GPU rigs, I stacked, what was it? It was one of those 24-pack Coca-Cola crates, and I stacked 3 of them. And then I cut the insides out to, to fit a certain way. So there's 2 power supplies leading up to a motherboard, leading up to riser cables, which were leading up to my GPUs. I think I had 6 on each. And I had 6 total running at once in this old apartment over here. Yeah. The energy bill, bro. I had a bill that was damn near $5,000 one month, and I had to rethink that strategy of running those all day in a populated area. Where energy costs more if you're running it 24/7 like that. It wasn't, but it was learning. I was learning, and I lived. Let's see, 2014. 2012. So, I was having fun with it. I was spending it. Sure.
You bought a pizza with Bitcoin early on?
Not when they were that cheap, but yeah. 2014, I should have vlogged this, but I wasn't really I didn't want to be a personality type or anything like that. So I wasn't really into to especially sharing that knowledge, because anybody I would say that word to was just instantly, they wouldn't even want to hear it. And if they did, topic would change quickly, right? And so I decided to try to live off of it in 2014. I was successful, but you could imagine looking back, the weekly expenses. So primarily at that time, I was using gift.com and Cheap Air for my airfare, hotel travel. So they accepted Bitcoin, Litecoin, and a few other altcoins at the time. I don't know if they ever accepted Doge back then.
Probably not back then.
No. Probably, yeah, now they should. Anybody, BitPay? Pretty sure PayPal, Coinbase just added them. Yeah. Fucking Elon. What's funny is he made a comment the other day, and he's like, I can't believe people are investing Doge based off of my Twitter comments. And I'm like, well, it's
grown to be quite the troll.
I know, but hey, you can't deny the selfless act and what he did with releasing that patent from Tesla for that technology. That was some good he did for the world, and got nothing but respect for him. But man, turn off your Twitter, please. Like, I know I don't feel alone there. Got nothing against you, but wouldn't be bad to log off for a little while.
So let's go from 2012, 2014. You're starting to lit off it a little bit, and then sort of what happens from there. I mean, then it starts to take off.
So after that, I started to realize, all right, I can't maintain this at its current level, right? If I truly believe in this technology, kind of got to the point where the energy bills were ridiculous. I was broke too, living off of it. I didn't really have the financial discipline I have today to like stash a certain percentage and then stash a certain percentage of a certain percentage, right? Everything's very automated now, as of this year at least.
Yeah.
And if I had that, I'm sure I'd answer this a little differently, but I'm happy I did what I did. I'm happy I spent what I spent because I promoted the hell out of it. I went to Amsterdam, all paid for.
I think you had to
met a lot of
like
people I wish I stayed in touch with.
Right?
What's that?
You had to have people like you, really early adopters, kind of pushing the envelope.
People got to play with it, because you got to see, I saw firsthand how easy it was, and I never used it for anything bad. I know that's a perception that it's used to launder money, but that's not. I mean, come on, it's a public ledger.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm gonna say on that. And like,
That's fair.
track the funds. So, but yeah, and then fast forward. So I ended up taking a break, turned off all my miners. I was honestly going through a dark period too, because I realized how much I had spent. And even at that time, it had already became what it became. So you could only imagine how I felt 2017. And then this most recent one didn't affect me at all because it's much different now. Right? Yeah. It's,
like even being in it in fixing my shorts. I feel like they're riding up. Woo, breathe. All right. Yeah, I mean, even since I invested in 2017, since I invested in 2017, just seeing, writing out 2017, 2018, and seeing what's happened, in just the last couple months, it's like, oh, I know how this feels. The people who are panicking now, I know exactly like what they're feeling. Because in 2017, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna hold on to this for a while.
Yeah.
Write it out and see where it goes. So, and that's crazy. What has actually happened with crypto and the NFT space and all of that. It's changing a lot of lives for a lot of people. More artists opening doors and stuff for people who wouldn't have access to certain communities or collectors or whatever communities to share their work with.
Yeah. So
it's kind of nuts.
Yeah. And never mind. I'll save that for it's a thought I shouldn't share yet. Yeah. I promise. It's coming soon. That announcement's coming soon by the 7th of next month. Yeah. Is it the 7th today? No. Oh shit. Yeah, it is 6/7. Yeah. Yeah, we're a month away. 7/7. You'll
must be.
Dude, it could be your voice, cause I know like I can hear my shit in the it's loud.
You really can't.
Unless it's just me.
Like even if I'm like really close to the mic here.
Yeah, cause I can hear him in here. Point it towards you. Maybe it's pointed towards.
You can see it picking up there.
Try to turn your knob up right there.
I don't think that's it because you can see it right.
So you're number 2?
Yeah. Is it any better here? I can try turning it. Let me try turning it all the way up. No, not that. This isn't better. testing. 1, 2, 3. I feel like I can't even hear my voice now. Maybe if I go the other way. Oh, that seems better.
That sounds way better.
That sounds better. How about now?
That was instant.
Yeah, I think I might have figured it out. Let me know if this works. If it's not, then maybe you are only picking me up through Marcelo's mic.
That's weird. This mic picks up a lot of sound though, man.
Yeah, it might just be that one. We might have to just run. Oh, damn. I hear it. I feel like I can hear myself so much better. We might just have to run your mic kind of in the middle then.
Yo, yo, yo.
Let me try to bring this way. All right.
Yo, yo, yo.
For sure, tech issues, exactly. Oh,
shit
gosh.
happens.
How about now?
Yeah, is that better?
If I move the mic between us, can you hear us both now? At least a little bit better? Okay, jeez. Okay, as long as it's better.
We'll just roll with it on this one.
Yeah.
We'll keep it a little short.
Sorry for the.
We appreciate you guys not hitting back. Like, god damn, if I don't have patience like that. I would have hit back by now.
I really
so
appreciate you guys helping us troubleshoot this because, like I said, it took us all day to even get this running. So we're definitely gonna have issues here and there. We'll have this hopefully up and running perfectly by next time, but I doubt it.
No, we will. Yo, so we're on Twitch, and I kind of like Twitch better, but we were trying to hop on YouTube, and because it was a new channel that I created, we had to wait 24 hours to hit a live, so we're here.
I think we are just speaking through this mic here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get back to it then. I think we're good for like introductions. We actually prepared. We'll just do these questions real quick, and if you guys have any questions or whatnot or anything like, where you been, what are you actually doing, feel free to ask them. We'll answer them as we go. If you got questions for Marcelo, for me, whatever.
Yeah, you'll get to know us more in the coming weeks and months too. So
yeah, and this is our first one. We're gonna hopefully be putting out. Our goal is 2 a week. We'll see how it goes. With our schedules and everything, but that is the goal for now anyways. So we actually prepared questions for each other for this episode, kind of because Marcelo and I have known each other for a long time. He's my brother's best friend, and we've kind of grown up together, but we don't know like everything about each other. It's not like we've sort of been there for all the big experiences and stuff. So to get to know each other better and also to teach you guys a little bit more about us, we prepared 7 questions for each other to just kind of pick each other's brains. I don't know what he's going to ask me. He doesn't know what I'm going to ask him.
You probably read this paper that's just been on the table all day.
I can't read your handwriting. If I'm being honest, I don't know.
Man, I've had somebody talk shit on that.
I don't think
you don't want to show all that though. You don't want to show all that though.
Scribbles.
Hey, you know what? Yeah. I can read it.
Right, so let's go through this. Do you want to go first or me?
Go for it.
Okay, I'll ask.
Yeah.
You. All right. Let me pull up. And also, that was a good one, huh? Scribbles. But I won't have chat up for a second because I'm going to be going through these questions. So if you guys do have questions at the end, hopefully we don't have any sand issues or whatever, just ask them like towards the end or between our questioning, I guess. So I'm going to pull these up real quick.
You got sand.
And some of these are kind of deep.
Oh, shit.
Actually, pretty much all of them are. No, they're not.
I mean, mine are pretty thoughtful, but let's hear what you got. Let's hear what you got.
All right, okay, here we go. This is a good deep one to start out with. Okay.
That's what she said.
All right. At what age do you feel like you came into being yourself, really feeling good, like in your own skin, and knowing who you are and kind of like what you're all about?
Ooh.
Like, what age do you think that was?
Shit. It was recent. For a long time. I felt like I was misguided. Didn't know what I wanted to do. Hence all the partying and certain lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, when you're growing up,
I want to say the shift honestly occurred probably like 2018, 2017. But it really hit, I would say, before COVID. Mm-hmm. I had this revelation, so to speak. But so I'm about to contradict myself because I just changed everything up again. Yeah. So that revelation I had wasn't what I thought it was. It was an illusion. So, shit, I would say this year, to be honest. This year I realized that it's more important to do what you're passionate doing, mm-hmm. even if you're not making enough. Even if you get like, I made the decision to pursue this creative outlet. And in the meantime, I'm still taking jobs on the side, but I'm only available a couple days a week for the IT, and I terminated all my contracts, so mm-hmm. I have no more anchor here. Physically, do not have to be here if I don't want to be. Yep. And that feeling is true freedom. Yeah. You know. So I would say this year, man, that was a good question. I had to fucking go back and think about it because
I told you.
I thought I had it right, but then life said, let me throw you a curveball, and. And as much as I miss her, losing her was the best thing ever because it opened the door of thought that I never,
a whole other transformation.
Mm-hmm.
You grew a bit more.
Yeah.
Still realized you had more growing even after you
realized. Oh fuck, dude, I'm still young as fuck.
We all do.
Watch me be like a 50-year-old man acting like I'm a teenager still.
Maybe at heart, eventually.
I'll be all the grandkids' best friend. They'll be mad at their parents. I'll be cool.
All right, next one. Moving on. That was a good answer. What is a defining moment in your life that helped you grow? And I think I already know that one.
I was about to say it sounds like the same question.
That almost falls into the same thing.
Yeah, no, that I answered that
with
already.
Optimo and everything.
So yeah. Damn. But he wasn't expecting that answer.
I wasn't expecting that answer, so that kind of ruins that question. Maybe I'll think of another one. Okay, here we go. This is a fun one. What was the most stupid thing you spent crypto on?
I wish I was wearing it. Actually, no, I can't say that's the stupidest thing, but I'm gonna use this as an example because I still wear it to this day. If it was easily accessible, I'd grab it, but I don't know where it's at. Yeah. It's a Citizen's watch. It's a nice looking watch, all silver, stainless steel, with the blue dial, and it's still been running to this day because it's it's got that technology. Power. Yeah. 2 3/4. Bitcoin. It was $100 watch. I paid 2 3/4 Bitcoin at the time. So I wear it as a reminder. Just be patient, because I preach hodl. Whenever you guys start to audit my social profiles and go check out this NFT project I started just for fun, you'll see I'm all about the long term. Yeah. This is.
I think you learn.
Yeah, you learn, right? But that was probably the stupidest purchase.
Citizen watch for 3 1/4 Bitcoin.
Yeah, Citizen's watch. Amazing. It was the USD value at the time was 125 after tax and shipping or some shit from Overstock. Good job, whoever the fuck was running Overstock at the time. You did a good job marketing when you said we can spend that digital crazy money at the time where I was blown the fuck away. Yeah.
All right. So the next question, you can't answer with the same thing because that seems like a pretty good one to answer with. Any regrets or things you may have done a little differently if you had a chance for a do-over?
In life in general?
In life in general.
To be more understanding that my parents had my best interest. I didn't have to rebel so much. But I'm going to say a big but on this. I don't regret who I am today and the energy I have, what I'm working on, the mind I have. Don't regret that. So I feel like I had to go through that with them, burn the bridge, rebuild it to get to where I am. But I felt like maybe patience is a better answer. Wish I had more patience.
Yeah, I think we all could use a little bit more patience.
Yeah. I'd like to think I'm patient in this day and age, but there's still certain things,
Oh yeah.
You get impatient about. So.
All right, this is one really into crypto, and I think this is more this is geared towards right now. Headlines read NFTs are dead, according to some publications. There's a lot of FUD, and do you believe this at all, or where do you see the future of NFTs?
So, I'm rather new in the space, so I will, preface this with, I'm not going to speak on something that I don't know down to its core. But one thing I can say is just look at the economics behind everything. Look at the layer 2 functionality that smart contracts bring to that basic blockchain of Bitcoin, right? Yeah. Now things are, we're going through, I think Berlin just went live. I mean, we'll be in 2.0 before we know it. So we'll be in that proof of stake for Ethereum. And I know this might sound like gibberish, but it's just, think of it like a language, right? You go to Portugal, they speak Portuguese, right? Bitcoin is proof of work. Yeah. Ethereum is proof of stake. You can Google it. Like I said, I don't like to speak too much when I don't know how to define it. Like I can talk to a little kid and explain it to a little kid, because I'm also dipping my feet back in, full transparency. But to kind of define it, an NFT is a non-fungible token. What's a non-fungible token? Well, you can define that a number of different ways, but think about it this way. What if you knew an old Babe Ruth signed autograph baseball? What if you knew whose hands that touched? Who owned that baseball? Mm-hmm. How much more valuable would it be had it crossed the hands of a famous baseball player at the time? Or, pick anybody, any famous singer at that time. it'd be far more valuable. I guarantee it, especially if there's a certificate.
But do you think that's enough to continue the life of NFTs and into the future as?
I can't speak on that.
Yeah.
I think so. I think so because we've just scratched the surface, right?
Yeah.
The projects that are out now are, to me, appear more of a money grab than anything. Sure, there are some thoughtful projects out there. But I think it's obvious, it's oversaturated. And I don't want to say with artists, it's oversaturated with maybe fear of missing out, maybe people rushing in before they do their research, and they'll mimic CryptoPunk. I mean, can't tell you how many variations of the CryptoPunks there are. I think so. If you, start your own collection, start minting one a week, one a day, whatever. Go have some fun with it and learn.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to waste some money. You're not going to go into it without wasting some money on gas fees. You're going to make some mistakes. Go make those mistakes before it gets too much more expensive.
Yeah.
To make those mistakes. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
So, does that answer your question? I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't want to speak too much on it because I'm just dipping my feet back in. This podcast has really motivated me to actually carve out some more time to actually read like I used to, because I don't do that anymore. I've been on a computer most all day working and strategizing and putting in the work. I want to say more, but with time.
All right, let's move on. I know you're vegan.
You and your brother do the same fucking shit.
I told you.
Can't say no. He's just plant-based.
Yeah. I know you're vegan. He's a big vegan. He's been vegan for as long as I can remember.
So for the record, I'm plant-based. All right. Yeah. I like merino wool. I think it's one of the best.
Okay.
I actually think I'm wearing merino wool right now. So. yeah.
Okay. If you could, or if you had to, you literally had to break your vegan for one food, one thing, what would it be? And you have to.
I have to.
You have to.
Okay. So this is like the status of zombie apocalypse. This comes with. I know. We'll fix it next time. Appreciate you guys for hanging in there. Yeah. Oh shit, chat's blowing up. Cool.
Oh wait.
What's up?
Hello, guys.
I'd have to say fish.
Fish. Okay, that's a good one.
Because, fish.
What kind of fish though?
Fuck, I never liked fish to begin with. I can't be specific on this one. Fried shrimp.
That's not a fish.
Shrimp's a fish?
I'm pretty sure it's a crustacean. Or it's probably something else.
Well, see, I never finished school. So I never cared to learn about these things.
Okay, shrimp.
No, I'll pick something different.
I mean, you can go with shrimp.
Is lobster fish, or is that a fucking crustacean too, or whatever you call that?
They're a mollusk, maybe a shellfish. There's something not a fish.
Oh yeah, I think there's still a shellfish. Yeah. Salmon.
There you go.
Fucking Alaska golden salmon, whatever. I don't know.
We're about to have some smoked salmon.
Smoked salmon.
Like a roll. Actually, we're gonna go eat after this. I'm starving. Cannot wait.
I know.
Cannot wait. I'm gonna get a smoked salmon roll. Okay, last question. I won't force you to not be vegan for this one. And this is a good one. What do you want to leave behind as your legacy, and how do you want to be remembered? I guess that's the same thing. What do you want your legacy to be?
Ooh, so this one, honestly, it plays into the answer to his other questions. The shift that happened this year, the change in my direction and my focus on not being driven by money first, by passion first. I would say it piggybacks off of something I'll announce right now, but the details on how to qualify and to enter are going to be announced on the 7th with this other announcement. It's going to be a day of fucking announcements.
What, are you talking about the project?
I'm talking about Moral Monkey Mob.
Oh, okay,
so I'm doing something that there might be somebody listening in on this who knows about it. But
what is this tying to your
so
legacy?
it ties in with it ties in with giving back,
Got it.
which I want to be a part of my legacy. And the reason I say it that way, I don't mean to be cheesy, to be honest. This act of creating this idea. So for those who aren't aware of VeeFriends, go to veefriends.com, veefriends.com. You can watch a little video about what it is. If you know Gary Vaynerchuk, you probably heard of the project already. But I started this initiative because the auction ended pretty soon, right? Floor was bought up. And me being Bitmonkey, my brand, I started to kind of look around at what my strategy wanted to be, and it was to get one of the access cards, which was called a keynote koala,
Yeah.
to go in a very selfish direction. I just want to go travel around, follow this fool around. When he goes to speak, you get the green room access. I was going to get the podcast Panther, have him on the podcast. It was very selfish approach. You get some one-on-one time with him before he goes on stage at every event.
Crazy.
And I think it was for the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But then I looked at the ceiling price of it, and I think it started off at like 70 ETH and ended at 15 ETH.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it would hit the floor. That's why I changed my approach. I was like, ooh, somebody's going to snag that up. 30, 40-ish, 50 ETH. It's worth it, in my opinion, right? So then I started to think, well, fuck, maybe I can just grab one of each moral monkey. They have different rarities. So there's like a 1 of 20, a 1 of 8, 1 of 5, and then 5 different types of one-on-ones, spectaculars, if I'm not mistaken. The long story short, I ended up with 5, 1 of each rarity. And I thought, how can I give back to Gary's community?
Yeah.
How can I truly give back? Because I'm grateful for kind of, he doesn't realize it, but a lot of his content, a lot of his voice in the back of my head kind of gave me the nudge to do what I'm doing today.
Seems like a very big influence.
Yeah, and how I generate content for clients, like everything is it's his blueprint.
Yeah.
And God knows how much more he could release and make money on, but he doesn't do that. He's not a Ty Lopez, and I can go listing off names who want to capitalize on everybody, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to rag on anybody. You don't want to knock the hustle. You got to tip your hat off. Yeah, you got to tip your hat off to everybody doing what they're doing, because regardless of how you feel about them, they're hustlers. Right. So respect that. Right. But I started this initiative, right, where I'm giving away the token access, and I'm including round trip airfare and hotel expenses for 5 lucky winners every year. It's not going to be an attention gram. I'm not going to ask you guys to follow this account, tag 3 people, whoop-de-whoop, this and that. No. It's going to be very thoughtful. It's probably going to be 5 rounds. I haven't decided yet.
Of like submissions or like?
There's going to be one bulk submission, and then we're going to weed out a lot of them by auditing certain, we're going to be asking certain questions to see who, and I'll give everybody a hint here if you are watching for that. Just want to make sure you practice what you preach, right? That's all.
Yeah.
Everybody, to hold everybody accountable. Because I remember when I first kind of dug deep as far as like what my core values and moral beliefs are, that's when the shift and change in my life occurred, right? So that's why I hope that win or lose, the applicants gain something from this. So
just to tie it all back, giving back is
giving back. I know I went off on a little thing, but giving back. I want to be known for quite possibly creating the new digital school that doesn't exist, that should exist, that teaches certain topics and provides certain resources of equipment that certain countries wouldn't have otherwise.
It's very important to give back.
To pave that new way.
Try to do as much as I can. I know I could have probably done it more in the past, but I try to do what I can. We're only one person, so
try
to do as much as we can in the time we're here, I guess, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah. All right. Good shit. Good 7 questions. Sorry, I went off on a rant there.
No, it's all good. That's why we're here.
All right. So most of we gave the introduction. He's a little photography whiz. He's got an eye unlike most other have.
Okay,
right?
pressing the camera button.
Yeah, I'm okay, Brett. You can spam it, So I want to get into that. First of all, why photography? What was that shift that said, because you weren't doing this your whole life, were you?
No.
Don't be looking at my questions.
Oh, I can't even read it. I told you. I literally cannot read your notes.
See, that's what you say, so you can prepare to answer for the next question.
Okay, so, sorry. Repeat the end of that.
Why photography? It's a question with 2 words, but it's a deeper question, meaning like what?
Why photography?
Why did you pick up a camera at that time that you did? And let everybody know here when you really started to.
I mean, I chose photography because it was the first thing that really that I had done that it just clicked. It was like, whoa, this feels right. Like, I went to school for biochemistry initially once I left high school. I went to school for biochem, believe it or not.
I remember you saying that.
Scientist. And,
that's shocking.
I actually really did. I did like science, but I kind of, in becoming choosing the major of biochemist, it was more like, in my mind, once I was leaving high school, I was like, Well, what makes a good amount of money? It's someone in science. That makes sense to me, right? I like physics. I like, biology and all that. I liked chemistry. Chemistry, maybe not as much as the others, but I definitely wasn't going to be a physicist.
Yeah.
By any means.
You could see that wasn't in the cards.
I didn't think so.
You'd blow something up.
But so I chose, I almost chose biochemistry arbitrarily, and so it didn't really satisfy anything in me. It was just something, I guess, to do rather than I didn't want to go to I didn't want to drop out, and I wanted to continue school. I think that's one thing that my parents wanted from me, for sure too. And I didn't want I didn't want to disappoint them or anything. And I didn't want to go to community college. Not that community college is a bad thing ever.
Yeah, you don't want to disappoint Kelly.
Yeah.
No.
She's actually watching. Probably is.
Hi, Kelly. Hi, Mom.
But yeah, I didn't want to go that route. Although I think in retrospect, maybe going back then would have been a good idea to figure things out a bit more. But ultimately, my choices did lead me to photography, where I had switched majors from biochemistry to marketing. I realized that was much more my suit. And I really did like marketing. I like the idea of selling a product, learning about advertisements. And still to this day, I love watching commercials. I love a good commercial. There's something, if you can sell a product and it makes you want to buy something after looking at it or watching this commercial, I eat it up. I try to digest what made me want to buy that. I love that. They can do something. They can make a product so appealing that you just have this urge to go get it. And I think it's just a really cool thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I nerd out about that sometimes.
Yep.
So switch to marketing. And at that time, I had gotten a camera. My mom, shout out my mom again. She got me a camera, a little point and shoot, and took a picture of my brother. Actually, took a picture of Ben in Vegas, of all places. And I took a picture next to this light, and I just saw it light up, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. I love that. It's so cool. Look at the lighting, the way it looks. It's like a movie poster. If I would look at it today, it's probably a terrible photo.
It's probably shit, right? But it started. But it started,
kicked everything off, and then I started diving more headfirst into it. I bought some studio lights, bought a camera off, I think, Craigslist. It was an old Rebel XTI or something like that. And I chose photography because it gave me passion in life. It was something to do, something to get out of the house, something to create. I realized that I needed to create. I don't know. At that time, I just really needed to create.
And if I remember correctly, so this was the time where social media, it was at the stage where I think the teenagers were heavy in it, early 20s, maybe early 30s, but that older, you'd find an occasional parent, right? or grandparent on there, right?
Yeah.
So while everybody's stuck on their tech, you're out and about enjoying the world, right? Does that sound about right?
12-ish. Yeah. I had probably picked it up maybe right around the perfect time to sort of catch the Instagram wave, before everything got all algorithm based and crazy over there. But I think Instagram started 2012, and I must have started 2013, 2014. I think it was my first photo. So I was I guess not a late adopter to Instagram, but it had been out for a while before I jumped on that platform. And I had done a bunch of things actually before all that. They weren't huge gigs or anything, but I shot the Trans World Skate Awards. And that was actually one of the things that actually, the guy who hired me, he made some snarky comment that I didn't go to art school, so I shouldn't, be paid or whatever. And that sort of actually was really one of the things that set off my drive anyways, to become, a real professional photographer, real professional.
Yeah.
Not that you need art school, but I guess probably in my case, I would say I did. Because I didn't have any real artistic background, although I did drawing in high school and stuff. I didn't have a huge artistic community to sort of be a part of and learn from. So I think that once I got a camera in my hand, it was here we go.
Yeah.
Let's see what I can do with this, and just kind of ran with it.
Yeah, you fucking ran fast.
Fast,
dude. I just remember one week I come over to kick it with your brother, right? And a month later, holy shit, you were on the move. You grew so quick, and you were you were in your zone. You could see it,
I mean, when I was working, man, that was really when I felt like I was myself. When I was out and about, I was traveling. I was shooting when I was just out there in the world with my camera. Really, just I felt like me, and you know, there are times where, like I said, even before in the the video, that I fall out of love with photography.
Mm-hmm.
But once I pick up my camera, even no matter how I'm feeling, start taking pictures, like everything sort of fades away, and that feeling sort of comes back every single time.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, I look at the picture and I'm like,
that's a beautiful
cool.
thing. That's a beautiful thing right there. That's awesome.
I like that.
Yeah.
And so that's what got me to start with photography. I feel like that definitely answered your question.
It's very good, because I had a lot of little sub bullet points right there with my fucking baby handwriting gibberish apparently. So. What's your favorite creative tools to work with? Whether it's the Adobe Suite, anything specific in it. I think I know the answer because it came up earlier without you even knowing the question to this answer. Remember we were talking about, you showed me something? You should do some type of 3D rendering.
I mean, I enjoyed, because I know what you're hinting at. Really, like my work on Blender and a little bit on Maya, but that was fun. It was experimental, but I don't think anything sort of gives me the fulfillment that Photoshop does.
Okay.
Photoshop, I feel like a wizard. When I'm actually in there and I'm on my game, I can do things with photos that in the past, maybe not so much today, because there's been a lot of photo manipulation and more digital art rather than pure photography.
Yeah.
These days, the people maybe not as impressive, because some of the things have been sort of done and become like standard now. But there's still, some tips and tricks that I can do in Photoshop that I'm just like, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I love how that worked. I was able to play with that, and it blends seamlessly.
So shout out, earlier today, right, we were kind of getting the composition ready for what you're looking at, the stream. And like I did something like a day ago, right? And he tried to edit it, but just my skill sets in Photoshop, I do things a unique way, right? Yeah. And he's like looking through it like, what the fuck did you do? And then he starts operating like a wizard as soon as he realized he was on Windows and not Mac, which was funny.
Yeah, I know.
He just kept saying Alt, but he kept hitting
using
Control.
The Mac way too long, dude. I forgot all the shortcuts, and it's really only like a one key difference. I think you use Control instead of the Windows or the
Control.
Mac.
Yeah, because you were calling Control Alt.
I don't know. I'm all backwards now since I had to work.
Oh yeah, but
PC.
that is the difference.
Yeah.
If you plug that into a Mac, you just use the Windows key.
To go back to the question, I would definitely say Photoshop. It just, there's some times where I just feel like a wizard. I'll put on some music and I'm just editing and I'm just in the zone, and I love it. When I really like am deep, like back in the day when I was shooting a lot more like fashion and portraiture and stuff. Sometimes it's a bit tedious to do some of the cleanup that's required in that. So I just put on some music and chill, and I'll just do some really fun things. Yeah. Just get sort of lost in the edits.
Nice.
That's definitely my favorite.
Follow-up question for the people watching. What's some good brain music to do that type of work?
Good brain music?
Yeah. What are you slapping when you go do that? Like, I'm sure it's something that's just mind-numbing. Right?
I listen to Drake, literally.
Okay. So that's
my favorite artist till the day I die.
That's a suggestion right there.
Whatever. Whatever. I'm a big Drake fan. I'll listen to Drake, but I'll also listen to, I don't know if you guys can hear it super loud, but this like kind of lo-fi station. I kind of like lo-fi beats to kind of keep my brain going and stuff sometimes. Sometimes I don't want to hear words and everything. I just kind of like a gentle beat.
I'm the same way. That would have been my answer, was the lo-fi hip-hop YouTube stream. There's also this other one. It's a guitarist, and he does some covers on all these songs, and it's fucking... Whoo,
I'm sure that's good.
Man, I get lost in 2.5 hours that ends, and I'm like, oh shit. I've been sitting down for a while here. Yeah, right? Yeah, I know there's probably not a lot of people on here, but there's gonna be some F-bombs and whatnot. So if that's a problem, you don't. Okay.
No, I think I don't know if we have to put a warning or something or whatever. I don't know how it goes with Twitch. I don't know. I don't think mature. I don't think you have to put like the warning if it's for swear words.
I think they know.
Yeah.
I mean, you let a kid touch a laptop nowadays. Just assume
you put
everything
any
is.
Video game these days, and you're gonna learn every swear word in the book if you have it if you're a little kid.
And then some. You'll be surprising your parents like I did.
Some of these games are way too toxic.
All right. So what's the most important lesson you learned? Whether it's, and this could be photography or personally or emotionally or whatever.
Most important lesson I've learned?
No. Let me finish the, And I was just intertwining there. Lesson you learned from being on America's Top Photographer. If you remember being on that show.
I remember it. I do remember it. Oh man.
And like I said, it doesn't have to be photography. It could be about life. It could be about anything, but it's got to come from that.
You know, that show, as life changing as it was in a beneficial way, I definitely do like. I'm glad I was on the show. Don't regret anything. Glad I won it. It was a great experience, but it impacted me in ways that I think I never expected, and most people wouldn't think. Mm-hmm. Where like, you know, there was this high of winning and everything, but then it almost put this feeling of like, oh man, now I really have to prove myself, and it put a lot of pressure on me.
I bet.
Yeah. After that. And then also some of my friends, like, not that it was that big of a deal, but some of my friends, like, you know, jokingly or like playfully would call me, you know, Roma's top photographer, Scott Barrero, and it's not like
trying to tease you as, you know, like,
and it was never in a malicious way. It just sort of took away, it diminished sort of the accomplishment of doing it, because it was more in jest, you know, like it was more of a joke than anything.
Yeah.
And like, not that it was a super serious show or anything. Like, I'm grateful for being there, and it is a show. It's a reality show. It is what it is. But some of the effects afterwards were a bit heavier than I think most people would think. And not to be like a boo-hoo, you know, sad story. Oh, you won. Poor for you. Like, poor for you. Sad for you. I don't know.
Sad for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Like in a way, like, man, I love Roxy. I almost wish she would have won, and she could have, you know, handled all of that, because I didn't deal with it well, I don't think. Man, shout out Roxy. She is absolutely killing it.
Is she?
Oh man,
that's dope.
Dude, I love to see it. But I think the biggest thing that it taught me is to sort of like take a step back and really check myself. Like, maybe my ego was too big at the time. Maybe, you know, maybe I couldn't handle it. I don't know what it was, but to really sort of reevaluate where I was with photography, and to really think about, you know, how my life was as a photographer. Do I really, like, I love photography. You know, it's my passion. It's my career. It's what's given me a lot of purpose in life. But also, like, maybe that is, in addition to photography, what else do I want to do with my life? Do I want to be a photographer all the time? And I really had to think about that. And I think it's a hard conversation to have. Like, maybe when you've had a lot of success in one industry, to take a step back from it, and instead of like feeling forward, because I'd find at times like my social battery, or like, you know, my overall like energy for life would drain out much quicker than it had before. And I don't know if that was, you know, to blame with, you know, my lack of not lack of passion, but lessening of passion for photography at that time, or trying to figure things out. But I had to figure something out.
Yeah.
And so I think the biggest thing that I guess I took away from it was sort of realigning myself and re-understanding who I am without being a photographer.
Yeah.
Because Scott the photographer, you know, those two are synonymous. But what else am I besides that? So I really had to think about that. And I think that's probably what I learned. It's a way.
That's where he's been hiding.
That's probably a way different answer than anyone would ever expect, but that was probably it.
Hey man, it's different than I thought I was gonna hear. That's why I prefaced with, it doesn't have to be about the shot.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't have to be about getting that shot. Although I know we'll focus certain questions down the road on like certain questions that'll help the audience for you.
Poo-poo on the show or anything. Yeah. It was an incredible experience. It was like definitely life-changing, man. I was so happy that I got to bring my family out to New York and, you know, experience everything that this show had to offer. But, you know, there are two sides to every coin.
Yeah.
You know?
The grass is always greener, so to speak, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's all perspective. Ooh, perspective, patience. I mean, it's about to be the triple P.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's piggyback off that. I know you've done a lot of traveling with photography.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be photography related as far as shooting, but what was your favorite country you've traveled to and why? Like, was it the food? Was it the people? Was it the...
You know, I mean, that's a tough question, because there are a lot of amazing countries in the world, and I've been really fortunate to go to, you know, some really cool places, but probably I would have to say first the Philippines, because that's part of who I am. Background, you know, my dad's part Filipino. And going back there and being able to experience the culture and be so welcomed when I was there was really nice, man. I love Filipino food. I just love the Filipino, Philippines, the people. It's all incredible. Just being there is such a like different way of thinking, different way of life, and it's nice to be around for sure.
Yeah.
But I guess for the second place would be Australia. I was trying to move there. That was the goal, man.
Haven't been there yet.
I really love being there. The vibe was amazing. Food was great. Beaches were really awesome. Just being there, felt right, especially at the time. It's a bummer that all this stuff had to happen, with COVID. Of course, people in much worse situations than me. I can't be too sad, but it's unfortunate that the future that I had sort of, planned out definitely got redirected. So
I know you're not alone though. So the audience, I'm sure probably like 3/4 of us know exactly how you feel. So
it's changed a lot of people's lives for sure. So cannot complain, but
all the more reason to go back.
On the list, man.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually try to go back someday.
Well, yeah. Whenever I finally make it to Indonesia, I need to go back to Thailand, go say what's up to some friends I made out there, and then jump down to Bali.
Yeah.
I don't know if I still want to go to Bali or jump around some other islands because Bali's kind of like overhyped in my opinion. It's been talked about so much that.
I mean, any place as hyped as it is, it's worth checking out for you guys, right?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
But there's maybe not that time around.
No, right? Yeah. All right, next one. If you could eat, this is similar. If you could eat one style of food, what would it be for the rest of your life? But it's so you get to pick one cuisine for the rest of your life. Yes, just one type of food. That's funny because
I literally saw this thing on social media. I don't even know where I saw it, and it was like you can get rid of one, and it was 4 things. It was like pizza, wings, burritos, and tacos, right? And my easy one to get rid of those 3 is probably the wings. I'm gonna throw away the wings first.
Wait, is today Tuesday too?
I love wings, but
no, today's a Monday.
Dude, he loves bacon.
Oh shit! I used to be the bacon wrap king.
I would say, this is so hard. I would say burritos. I love me a good super burrito, man.
So to answer,
California, super burrito.
Okay.
Or I don't know if I could eat that every single day.
But technically,
I have to just go with like a standard. Like, do I have to eat it every single day?
But technically, tacos and burritos are the same cuisine, right?
No, they're not.
They're not? No. They don't come from the same?
They're kind of the same.
See, that's my assumption, right? And lack of education.
Like when I'm talking about tacos, I'm talking about street tacos with just like the corn tortilla, the meat, the cilantro, and the onions.
Okay.
Where a burrito is, the rice, the beans, the meat, sour cream, guacamole, the pico de gallo. You throw it all in there.
No, but I'm talking about like. Never mind. That's a good answer. I'm gonna drop it there. Like you still didn't answer me. God damn it.
Taco Bell tacos.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. All right, now you're right. I can't read some of this handwriting. Because I also wrote some notes on the side too.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, this one's interesting. I remember. What's one thing you'd change in the market if you could play quote unquote God, right? Quote unquote market God.
What market? Which market?
The market that you're a part of. Like the think of artists as a whole, that market. If there could be a tension,
one thing,
right? If there maybe it's a toxic vibe in the community, because I know there's part of that. There's a lot of people intimidated to jump into the crypto space because there's a lot of quote unquote OGs or certain types of people who are very toxic and not helpful. Is there something like that? Is there something you would change in your industry to maybe bring everybody together, or maybe a platform that doesn't exist that you want to see exist? If you could play God and do anything in that market to improve it and everybody in it, what would it be?
That's a tough question.
I know that was a deep question.
I wish that there was one camera brand that everyone used.
Hey.
I wish that honestly across the board there was one best camera. I don't think there will ever be one best camera. I wish there was one camera that everyone used across the board so that we could all swap lenses. Honestly, that would be a life changer, because like I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a place and like I pull out my Canon and no one like shoots Canon anymore, and everyone's Sony or something else, or film. Actually, everyone's film these days.
I've been seeing some of that.
And I'm like, damn, I only brought this lens and I can't switch with anyone. And there's always this debate, you know, like.
See, there's my lack of knowledge.
Different color profiles and things like that, and it's like, man, can't we just settle on one camera, man? Like, I wish that part of me wishes just like Apple would come out with the camera and we all switch that. You know, we all switch to iPhone. Just have Apple come out with a camera.
Yeah, but camera. Everybody hasn't switched to iPhone. Yeah. So like, no, not everybody.
Well, no, not everybody.
What you talking about?
Do you not have an iPhone?
Dude, I've been Android since day one. I only touch an iPhone if it's to help somebody. That's it.
Okay.
So.
Well, I wish we all had one camera.
And it's nothing against them. So.
I take that back.
It's a beautiful piece of hardware.
I should take that back because there's also a nice thing about having different cameras and like different films and all that. So, I don't know. I think that I'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. We can always come back to that question too.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you caught what I was trying to get at with that. But it's cool. So this is the first one. So what did you want to be? Now this is the simple question that is probably out there on some like old video of you in middle school.
Yeah.
But what did you want to be when you grew up? Like really think about
when I was a kid?
Yeah, that unbridled curiosity you have when you're like, man. Holy shit.
No, it's easy. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
I wanted to go to space. Like I thought the coolest thing was being an astronaut, be able to go up there and look down on the Earth, and just be free from everything. I don't know why.
What do you feel about? That's a good question or a good answer. I like that. But how do you feel about? I just saw something earlier that Jeff Bezos and his brother are going to be on that first trip.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
My immediate thought was, I hope it doesn't explode.
Right? Like, God damn it, Jeff.
Like, jeez. I mean, I would want to go to space. So I'm not going to knock him, dude. If you have the opportunity to go to space, do it.
Yeah.
But honestly, that was my honest to God first thought. I looked at it and I go, hope that doesn't blow up.
I mean, so that's my thought. Like,
I don't know if that's a really bad view to look at it and think that, but that's.
I feel like if I ever want to like think about that and want to go to space, it would have to be the last jet I get on to leave this orbit because I ain't coming back.
Yeah.
Right? Like it'd be one of those things where like that shit was so
Mars.
scary to get here. Now I got to go back. We won't make it back, right? What if there's like fucking 50% survival rate on returns? You know, like no.
Yeah.
So if I do it, I'm committed for life. I'm committed to go start a colony. But I don't know if I'd be the first, man. I don't know. I'd have to sleep on that one.
Lose bone mass and come back and have to rehabilitate.
Yeah. I'm cool off that. Yeah. Thanks for defining it. And that's my 7 questions for you, man.
Nice. All right. Well, I think we got through everything. This was much longer than we wanted it to be.
Yeah. How long was that?
I don't know how long. We honestly, when we thought about this, we were like, okay, we'll just do 10 minutes, and that'll be the first one, and call it a day. But we've been here. I don't even know how long it is. You guys probably have a timer.
Yeah. Hey, we appreciate everybody following. I know that probably gets repetitive on all the channels, and if the channels aren't saying that enough, they're a bunch of dicks. I need to be more grateful for everybody tuning in. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
There's gonna be many more. I think
we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll work out the kinks. Well, actually, if you guys have any questions like Frick or
comments or suggestions or fucking anything
to help,
drop it.
I forgot to actually turn up the lights before it got dark. It was much lighter when we started, but I should have turned that.
Oh yeah. So for those who are curious, this right here, I purchased an NFT and received this. Like I was talking about earlier, how to compare it for somebody to understand what an NFT is. An NFT is transfer of ownership, right? Proof of I mean, there's so much more, but it gives you that added benefit of whenever I go and flip this, I'm going to flip that NFT and I'm going to reward or I'm going to honor the original, tokenomics behind this. Yeah. I already reached out to Wilson Chandler. I'm reselling his there's a lifetime VIP access token, NFT token on my profile that I'm reselling, and I'm honoring his 50% donation to the Benton Harbor Youth Fund. That's going to teach kids and kind of repair that community that he grew up with over there, and then teach kids how crypto works, kind of introduce them with all the technology, introduce them into becoming a digital artist, how to mint their own NFTs. So what he's doing, the tokenomics behind that, I love, right? So that's why we wanted to display this. I paid... It was less than 1 Ethereum at the time, and I think Ethereum was only $2,000 a pop. So I think in my mind, I was like, all right, 1.1 is my budget, and I ended up walking away 0.825. So a little over 3/4 of an Ethereum. And it's the 2009 Rising All-Stars in-game ball. We got Kevin Durant on here. We got Derrick Rose in his rookie year. Wilson Chandler, of course. We got Russell Westbrook. Got Malik Beasley. Yeah. I think he's over at. Got a handful of other names as well that.
Be freaking out over this.
Well, he was freaking out because yeah, he was freaking out when I was visiting him in Arizona. He's like, "How the fuck does that work?" And I was like, "Well,
it's the Phoenix All-Star one too, which is
It's I know that's why I had to turn that logo for him if he rewatches this. So it's cool. And then this like I like supporting projects that have an underlying cause, right? Yeah. I support some artists who are just doing some art here and there, and don't get me wrong, like I want to support people through thick and thin through this, but moving forward, I'm being very thoughtful in the projects that I actually spend ETH in.
Definitely.
Tokenomics are where it's at, man. I think we haven't even scratched the surface. There's still that polyurethane coat on top. Like we really need to fucking get through that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know I went on a last minute rant right there, but we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Do you got anything else?
I think that's it.
All right.
Wrap it up. You can just click the end stream. Oh, we're done. It's a wrap. Day one.
Is that the one?